This show is brought to you in partnership with CEDA.
Primetime Life.
Hello, good day, and welcome to Primetime Life. Now, let me kick things off by wishing you a happy new year and a prosperous and productive 2021. Betso ngwahomona magadi kio. Now, Pikwe is open for business. Why do I say that? The Spedu region recently ground broke its mega citrus project, where we'll see 1,000 people being employed. Let's check them out.
Primetime Life.
With the country looking to reduce the import bill and ultimately become an export-led economy, government, through its several enterprises and agencies, continue to undertake initiatives that will ensure the realization of this set vision. Recently, Primetime Life joined Spedu at the official groundbreaking ceremony of the Pikwe Citrus Project.
The Spedu region is definitely open for business. Today, we bear witness to the groundbreaking ceremony of the Pikwe Citrus Project. This will see 1,000 people getting employment. Hey, hashtag Pikwe is open for business.
Besides the fact that the establishment of the Pikwe Citrus Project in the Spedu region speaks to the core of what Spedu has been set to achieve. The Pikwe region, on its own, boasts of highly fertile soils and climatic conditions highly suitable for agriculture, especially horticulture production. The region also allows easy access to markets, making it the preferred investment destination.
I am convinced that the agricultural sector has a huge potential to turn around the fortunes of the Spedu region and the country at large. Director of Ceremonies, kindly allow me to convey my appreciation to all stakeholders who have been working tirelessly to make this project a success. I wish to recognize the role of some of the key stakeholders, most notably Ministries of Land Management, Water Sanitation, Agricultural Development and Food Security, Mineral Resources, Green Technology and Energy Security in facilitating establishment of this project. The commencement of this project is a testament to the hard work and dedication of all stakeholders, and it is indeed a very commendable effort. My profound gratitude also goes to the investors for their commitment to the project despite the adverse effects occasioned by the pandemic and even some of the challenges and the speed at which we are facilitating. They have remained steadfast, resolute, and confident to invest in our country. And I can assure you that you will be happy that you invested in Botswana.
Citrus production and its entire value chain is a subsector that is viewed to have a tremendous potential for economic diversification and job creation for Botswana.
Potential for citrus production is very high in Botswana, especially in the Spedu region, all the way up to the northeastern part of the country. It is therefore my hope and wish that similar projects as this one that we are about to witness can be emulated in other areas. As a ministry, we also encourage those landowners who are not able to utilize their land to either lease it out or partner with potential investors to put the land to productive use. This will go a long way in supporting the food self-sustenance. I wish to also indicate that project that we are here for today is very much in line with our new agricultural policy goal in which food and nutrition security are key.
I wish to acknowledge and pay respect to the founders of this cooperative who acquired massive land way back in the 70s. They demonstrated vision and foresight. We are proud and we benefit from their wisdom. We will be indebted to them. This farm we are here is called Manesi, was used as a dairy farm. It is about 1,720 hectares. We are sitting on 1,500. Another 220 hectares is for use by ourselves. When my team assumed leadership of the roles of this cooperative, we were faced with challenges. All properties were run down. We sat down with the Department for Corporate Development and develop a turnaround strategy to revive the fortunes of the cooperative. We did some audit and found that our properties were in disarray. It was at the same time that SPEDU was given the task to revive the economy of the SPEDU region. Lucky enough, I was one of the founding members in 2008, founding board members of SPEDU. We sat in with SPEDU, we devised strategies for revival. We went through about 50 proposals, long proposals. Some of them are at Talana Farms as we speak. Finally, in May 2018, we met Peter Scholz and his investors. Their proposal was impressive. It lifted up our hopes and aspirations. When they invited us to do due diligence on their farm in South Africa, we got first experience of what the businesses that they intend to bring into this farm. We were enlightened what we saw, and we said, this is what we want to bring into our farm.
The establishment of this project came after government took a benchmarking exercise to the mother company, Blydevelay International South Africa, at Hoedspruit in the Limpopo province. 30% of the project will be owned by a consortium of Botswana investors and Blydevelay International South Africa, owned by Dr. Peter Scholz.
President Masisi has a vision of a new agricultural strategy for Botswana, which will ensure that Botswana become independent of agricultural and fruit production from neighboring countries. And this project here at Celebi Pique Citrus fits in like a hand in a glove in your vision. We've already, actually, 2 days ago, it's a month since we've got our EIA. And if you drive around, you've seen the presentation, what have happened, what Altus and the team did in the last month. It is amazing. And so for phase one, we're planning 800 hectares of citrus. It will be a combination of lemon, grapefruit, Valencias, and premium mandarins. During phase one, we also do a trial orchard. It's going to be here just outside where the groundbreaking ceremony will take place today. We're going to try early varieties of avocados, mangoes. We've just obtained the right to test early cherry varieties for Botswana. And hopefully, with this new product, interesting things might arise from that orchard. Phase two will be another 400 hectare development. Hopefully, out of this trial orchard, we do big commercial plantings in the second phase, which can create a lot of opportunities.
Primetime Life. Primetime Life.
The citrus project is in alignment with government strategy to modernize the country's agricultural sector with the view to boost food security and nutrition in Botswana. In this regard, the government of Botswana is more than excited to support the Celebi Pique citrus project to ensure its sustainability.
The current annual citrus production in Botswana is estimated at 3,165 metric tons, which is extremely low and negligible compared to what you estimate to produce from your first harvest. 70,000 tons, if I got it right. For instance, production of fruit trees, mainly citrus, is estimated to be around 2.64% of the local demand, while approximately 97% is imported from other countries, and you can guess which country on the main. Between 2015 and 2019, an average of 14,800 tons of citrus fruits, particularly sweet oranges, lemons, mandarins, and grapefruits, were imported at an average cost of 70,926,214 pula. Therefore, such a high import bill for fruits requires us to take the necessary steps that will help us to grow citrus production subsector in Botswana. Not only will we save on that, but we will gain from the excess that we export and gain foreign currency. This project, I am told by, I believe, reliable persons, has an initial investment of about 300 million pula from the investors, which is particularly significant in that it is one of the first major export-oriented private sector-led development consistent with our electoral promises and economic strategy to kick off in rural Botswana. Both India. I am confident that the project will transform the landscape of citrus production in Botswana and contribute to the economic growth of the whole Spedu region and the country as a whole.
It is indeed a great honor to be part of this historic event. The agriculture sector in Botswana has been identified as one of the sectors with potential to contribute to economic diversification, create employment and generate income for both local and foreign investors. Therefore, this sector remains key in the economic recovery trajectory of Botswana. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to pay special tribute to His Excellency, our President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Masisi, for not only gracing this important occasion, but also championing the resurgence of the agriculture sector in Botswana. His presence today is a testimony of his commitment to drive the transformation agenda. As he's been saying now, that he made promises to Botswana. This transformation agenda that is characterized by an export-led economy, private sector-led economy, knowledge-based led economy, and of course, offsetting import of agriculture products in Botswana.
The citrus project, which is expected to create at least 1,000 jobs, will be on a 1,500 hectare site with 1,200 hectares of citrus orchards to be developed between 2020 and 2025 in 2 phases of development.
Primetime Life.
Now, in 2020, SEDA embarked in a campaign spearheaded by Sani Serite dubbed #KeMogaka-ka-SEDA. The organization visited different businesses that it funded. Here are some it visited just before the closing of business of the year 2020.
Primetime Life.
Recently, the Citizen Entrepreneurial Development Agency, or SEDA, took a tour to the region of Silebe to do some donations under their corporate social initiative program. The tour was also done to pay visit to some of the companies they funded. The visits were to appreciate the existence of these companies and see just how much they have done since acquiring funding from SEDA.
SEDA ikadile o ka re mabele ga batho. Gompieno re mo tsetsejwe go ithusitseng batho go dira dijo tsa Batswana, dijo tsa rona.
The first company that SEDA visited was Family Pride, owned by Mr. Modise Domi Jeremiah. The milling company, located in Tsitsijwe, which is in the Bobira sub-district, about 80 kilometers east of Silebe, has employed about 70 local people.
We started at the backyard in the village at my house, my mother's house, 99. We were there 99, 2000, 2001. We came here 2002 because we found the need to expand. The reason being, by then you didn't have enough power to carry the machinery that I wanted to buy. So then I came to see an old lady here to rent his farm. By then, obviously, we wanted the power because the substation is nearby, but there was no building. We started on the other side. It was just a small building that was made out of timber. We just extended it and we put our first machinery there. Yes.
Perhaps if you could just run us through what happens here in your factory, in your farm, from start to finish, from where you harvest it to where we have it like this.
What happens is there are two models. The one model is buying from a farmer, which was the original model that you can buy from a farmer. Well, we thought, actually to start with, that is the reason why I came home. Yes, I was actually born and raised here, and I happened to work for BAM, and then I was sent to Panamatenga. I was there for nearly 10 years. And then when I got sort of, I think, had enough of working, then I decided to run a mill. That's how the whole thing started. But there were many places that I could start, and one of them was obviously Panamatenga because the sorghum is produced there. Then I realized that if I do that, I would have left my people out. So that's why I came here. And then, well, the whole idea, because when I grew up, Tutujo was a good producer of sorghum, groundnuts, maize. So I came here with a good mind that I'm going to the a farming community, yes, which I had known all my life. But unfortunately, when we arrived there, we found that the seasons had changed. The grain that they supplied, I couldn't sell it in the market. So then that's when I started buying from the farmers up in Panda. And in the beginning, we were doing both sorghum and maize. And I remember we used to deliver maize for ration in one of the farms in Panamatenga every other day with a small 1.5 ton baki. So, yeah, then obviously it was cumbersome. You can imagine a single trip to Panda from here, it's about over 700 single trips. So 1,400 every other day was a bit too much. Look, we're still young and strong, but we're not making money. I didn't see it sustainable. Then I changed the model. Yes, when I arrived here, then I decided that because those days we were selling to individuals, even the shops, especially general dealers. But you find that you got 100 general dealers to supply, and this one takes 50 puller weight and then 100. And to come and get the money was difficult. Then that's when I chose the second model, which was to sell to the wholesalers.
Family Pride, which has been in existence for over 20 years, produces sorghum meal, peanuts, korong, musutlwane, to mention but a few. Family Pride products are sold in almost all the major retail outlets in the country, and the products have become a trusted family brand in most homes. As part of the corporate social initiative, SEDA took a visit to Madinare Senior Secondary School to donate sanitary pads to all female students in the school. The donation came after SEDA realized that not all the female students in the school could afford to buy sanitary pads when their monthly periods came.
Over and above assisting Botswana to empower themselves and empower others, SEDA does not shy away from giving back to the community within which it operates. And that's why we're here in Madinare, at Madinare Senior Secondary School, where SEDA has done it yet again.
One mission ya go direla setšhaba ka go ta le ka mo le go tshotseng le ta go abela sekolo sa Madinare Senior Secondary School mo le go re tsholetseng mo le go ba tsholetseng gore go amogele ke le lebogele tiro e kalo gore sengwe se le thotheleditse gore kana le lephata la SIDA le lona le na le seabe mo go direleng naga tshele go direla bašwa mo le go tshwereng re tla go hitisa re go isa ko go ba ba tshwanetseng go boga go goroga bo baneng re a leboga gore be le dirile tiro e kalo
through bomme ba re ka le bone ba ne ba taka maitemogelo a gore nya mme ga ke le mme ke theogetse seriti sa me ke nna le sone ke heletse ga o heletse le raja mme go na le di-sanitary towels tse e leng gore bana ba bomme ka bontsi ba tswa mo di-background tse e leng gore ga di a itshetela ba na le gore ba di tlhoke mme kana ngwana a tlhoka that sanitary towel ga a kgone go concentrata mo tlelaseng ga a kgone go ta tlelaseng the level of confidence ya go ya ko tlase mme ra thulantsha dithogo through office ya rona ba marketing through mme Carol Khafela ba ntsha one mokgosi wa re kopa le re thuse re identify le sekolo se le gore ka go thusana le bone ka go ka ba abela the sanitary towels mme kopa rona ya ka se ka ya retswa bana ba re retsa ba re botsa gore le batla gore le ba di abeleleng re ka di bona ko kae mme ra tisa maina ra baga mme ra gakolana gore kana mme ya ka re thusa ka this sanitary towels a re lebelele mo ba go bothe ba e leng gore re ba thusitse gore ka go direka ko kae gore a re empowera ba e leng gore ba thokile lesego ba e leng gore ba thusitse ka madi ra go ba reka yang ko go bone mme ra go kgwebong e leng gore e thusitse ka dithuso e leng gore e dira tsone di-sanitary towels ra ba kopa gore re kopa quotation re thuseng re batla go reka di-sanitary towels mme ka boammaaruri ba re reetsa ba amogela kopa ya rona ba re direla tsone di-sanitary towels tse e leng gore tsatsi eno di re beile gone.
Primetime Life.
The next stop was Better Service Group. After seeing an opportunity that was there in the paper conversion business, Kenneth Dibotelo sees the chance to close the gap. Better Service Group manufactures exercise books, hardcovers, envelopes, invoice books, and other paper-related products. The company has employed about 130 Batswana.
Run us through what happens in this warehouse.
We basically convert paper. As you can see, only a lot of people working. We've got machines. We import our paper in reels, different types of reels, and we cut it to whatever size is required by the market. And we can roll in any way. If it's for, we can do quadrilles, we can do rule paper, we can do any type of paper stationery.
But essentially, if we're going to look at it from a book's point of view, from the raw material all the way to when the book is ready to be used, that's what you're telling me happens here?
Yes. We just bring in the raw material and everything else is done here. We keep in the jobs in Botswana. We don't import finished books. We make them over here. All we get is the raw material.
Why paper? Why did you opt to go for such a business, Yapampir?
I've been involved in numerous businesses, but there was a time I had a contract supplying the garment printer with paper. And it got me very curious because we were just getting paper to them and they were doing everything like with bond paper. They were making the garment gazette and various other things. So I started looking very closely at paper. And I realized that every shop you go into, our stationery, especially for our school kids, stationery that we use in our offices, most of it is all imported. So I got a contract with government, the Accountant General, to make rule paper for them and minute books. And since I was doing another business, I used the funds to procure the first machine. And I was very interested in the Spedu area. I had attempted to do numerous other businesses. So we decided to set up here. And we are very fortunate that we managed to get a fairly good enough space at a very affordable price from Botswana Development Corporation. But basically it was more of wanting a product that the government uses a lot or spends a lot of money. Because as you know, in Botswana, the government is really our anchor, our economy, the government is our anchor. So we wanted a project that could expand. But my first interest in paper, I was seeing all the paper that was discarded in landfills and burnt. Because our plan is to eventually produce paper here, the raw material. So obviously the funders back then wanted us to show them that we could actually, the viability. So we decided to set up our own project, which we have now. And because now the government is really supporting Botswana-based businesses with Spedu and stuff, we've had massive support from various councils, Gaborone City Council, Mount District, Silibi Pikwe, Masunga, and them. So we've had, now we want to expand because the paper industry is very dynamic. There's a lot of products. We still import a lot of them. So our plan is to at least create jobs here and push the industry to its limits.
I like that. And obviously, you just shared with me that with your other business, you're able to finance this particular business. And obviously, thing, and you had to source for assistance. And how was your relationship with CEDA as you're coming up? And how has CEDA been instrumental in ensuring the success of business to this day?
Yeah, CEDA has been a great partner to walk along with. I mean, it has its hiccups, they have their demands. What happened actually is, after we bought our first machine, one of our experienced employees showed us that there were other things that we could do with the basic machine that we had. And we decided to approach CEDA. We discussed, at that time there was a gentleman at Spedu. We discussed with him, and he went and introduced us to the CEDA office. And the CEDA office required us to write them an executive summary so they could understand what we were talking about. And we put together a business plan. And we're very fortunate that CEDA funded us to acquire more machines.
Primetime Life.
And that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you so very much for watching. We're back again next week, same time, same place. Remember, COVID is still very real. Let's adhere to all preventive measures and stay safe. And hey, even this year, please say no to gender-based violence. As a matter of fact, say no to all types of violence. Good night. This show was brought to you in partnership with CEDA.